Well, surprise, surprise, Trump lost the Nobel Peace Prize to a Venezuelan woman named Maria Corina Machado, a lifelong diplomat and activist for democracy in Venezuela and a target of the Maduro regime, who's actually threatened her and her family so much she's had to go into hiding. She was given the Nobel Prize by the committee today. The White House says they clearly chose politics over peace. And the Nobel Committee signaled at a time when democracy seems to be backsliding globally that they're monitoring who's actually fighting for democracy and who's working against it. I wonder if Trumpelstiltskin is working for or against democracy with continuing to send National Guard troops into American cities led by Democrats, or, sending the National Guard now over to the I country to help with humanitarian aid as part of his peace deal. That sounds so very peaceful, doesn't it? Well, congratulations to Maria Corina Machado. I wish you all of the best for you and your family. Most of all, I wish you peace and safety.
Can we talk about how insane this is? I'm sure by now you've heard that Donald Trump did not win the Nobel Peace Prize. Surprise, surprise, right? Of course, that orange piece of shit was never going to win the Nobel Peace Prize. But some of the reaction to him not winning the Peace Prize, it just shows you how insane, really, the entire world is now that the United States has elected this criminal as president. Let me read just a little bit of a Bloomberg article for you. Here's the headline: World awaits blowback as the Nobel slips from Trump's hands. In awarding the Peace Prize to Maria Corina Machado of Venezuela, the Norwegian Nobel Committee recognized, quote, a woman who keeps the flame of democracy burning amid a growing darkness. Now just take that sentence for a minute. Can you think of anything that is more opposite, just the complete opposite of Donald Trump? Everything that Donald Trump is not, or everything that Donald Trump hates, a woman who keeps the flame of democracy burning amid a growing darkness. Donald Trump is the growing darkness. Let me continue. It's hard to predict how that will go down with a U.S. president who famously prefers to keep the spotlight on himself. To Donald Trump, the announcement that the Nobel Peace Prize has once again been awarded to someone else risks registering as the latest ignominy in a lifetime of rejection by elites. The question is how he might register that indignation. And I just want to read one final little part of this thing here. This is where it really is insane. In Norway, politicians are bracing for the possibility Trump might punish the country through tariffs or targeting the country's sovereign wealth fund. More generally, world leaders will be watching to see if the loss drives Trump away from joint diplomatic efforts. I mean, just think about that. In Norway, politicians are bracing for the possibility Trump might punish the country because he didn't win a peace prize. The headline of this: world awaits blowback from the President of the United States, who is butthurt because he didn't win a peace prize. I mean,
Obama got a prize. He didn't even know what he got. He got elected, and they gave it to Obama for doing absolutely nothing but destroying our country. No, he was not a good president. The worst president was Sleepy Joe Biden, but Obama was not a good president. How many months after he won the election, then they gave him the Peace Prize, right?
It was right
Before
afterwards.
he was elected.
My election was a much more important election.
Everybody that was a candidate to be a Nobel Prize to be considered this year, their applications had to be submitted before January 31st of 2025, which means President Trump had just been president for 11 days. You can't nominate him. He hadn't done anything yet. You know, President Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize 8.5 months of being a president. You know what that means? That means 2 weeks after he became president, they started nominating him to be considered as a Nobel Prize winner.
Wow.
So even though we say he won the Nobel Prize only 9 months later, he didn't. he won it 2 weeks later. Think about the madness of people who nominated him 2 weeks later, and you have a guy here that is stopping all the wars that started under Biden, whether it's the Ukraine, Russia that he's still dealing with, whether it's the, Hamas, Israel. Think about the stuff that he's doing, but the level of hypocrisy. The one person I will give credit to is, I thought it was such a beautiful moment where Maria Corina Machado, who ends up getting the Nobel Peace Prize, in her tweet, she did something that Obama should have done. She gave credit to the president and the White House, and that's how class looks like. Good for Maria Corina Machado.
As you may be aware by now, I hate it when the world doesn't revolve around me. As you are likely aware, Donald Trump did not win the Nobel Peace Prize. And if you, like me, were a little nervous about that, because that is just how wonky the world is right now. And by wonky, I mean totally fucked up. You were a little, it could happen. Then I would remind myself that the U.S. government was not involved in that decision, so integrity still had a chance.
Maria Corina Machado.
Now, I'm not too proud to admit that I have no idea who that is, but I can tell it's a woman and she's not white. And for totally vindictive reasons, my response to that is yay. Because I have the ability to Google, unlike what appears to be half the internet, I DuckDuckGo. I can tell you this woman fought for democracy for the people of Venezuela. Maybe she can come here and help. Described as having an extraordinary amount of courage, a unifying figure who helped bring together oppositional parties for real, like Can We Get Her Here? Venezuela devolved from a relatively democratic country to one of brutal authority and dictatorship. It was a prosperous country who started to suffer greatly under authoritarian leadership. Point made, Nobel Peace Prize people. This authoritarian regime enacted violence against its own people. More than 8 million people left the country, and there was election rigging. I wonder if Elon Musk was as familiar with their voting machines as Donald Trump claims he is about ours. So this award acknowledges the fact that Venezuela is in trouble. This may actually be used to fuel Trump's fire against Venezuela. He's been looking for a WAR to, put off those elections. He's been targeting Venezuela anyway by eliminating their little boats that he claims involved illegal activity, of course, offering no evidence whatsoever. Obviously, she's an amazing person who deserves this award, unlike our president, who is about to direct a lot of misplaced anger at his own citizens, because, Trump.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandovas Nelson Drews, and on this video, we will be talking about Mr. President Donald Trump and reasons why he did not win the Nobel Peace Prize, that he lost to a woman from Venezuela. If this is your first time of coming into my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, drop your comments in the comment section. Let me get your thoughts on this. With that being said, let's dive into it.
Nobel Peace Prize was given to Obama for literally just being black, and then they don't give it to Trump for stopping literally 8 conflicts internationally. Congratulations to Maria Machado. She's the exiled leader of Venezuela who tried to take on Maduro. But again, this is kind of ridiculous. Once you give somebody the Nobel Peace Prize for just being black, I'm sorry, you lose all credibility to me. That's why I think things like the Oscars and the Grammys are kind of silly, because it's like a bunch of people in shadow rooms deciding, and a lot of them are indoctrinated and have their own bias and sometimes politics involved. The world is going to look back and know who should have and who really won the Nobel Peace Prize in the hearts of the entire world. Also, please remember, since they already had a DEI award that they gave to Obama, this is probably another DEI award since Maria's a woman. It's kind of ironic that she would get it since she's asking for a revolution in her own country so she can be put in power. Rightfully so. I'm just saying, it's kind of ironic.
Maria Machado, who just won the Nobel Peace Prize, just handed it over to Donald Trump. What? No. No. Well, okay, she dedicated it to him, which you can split hairs, but the entire left was losing their minds that a Latino woman won the Nobel Peace Prize, shoving in the face of Donald Trump and his administration. And immediately afterwards, she dedicated it to him and said that her winning and where Venezuela is at and why she won wouldn't be possible without his efforts. I'm in hell. This is hell. Yeah, the left is over there like pretending the White House is like ripping their hair angry and that like Trump is firing people over this and like threatening. But he actually just called her to congratulate her before she even dedicated it to him. And it's been going over very well. His administration couldn't be happier.
We have a Fox News alert. Joe Biden is signaling that he should have gotten the Nobel Peace Prize. Politico is reporting that Biden World says Trump's depraved and that he's getting too much credit for peace in the Middle East. According to sources, Biden says Trump plagiarized his peace plan. That's right. Biden thinks someone else plagiarized him. Sources tell Politico that Biden says he was the one who made the peace deal possible, and Trump took too long to seal the deal. Biden couldn't do it in a year and a half. Trump just did it in 9 months. Was it Biden's idea to put Trump Tower in Gaza too? Speaking of towers, are you ready for this? Not only are we getting new flagpoles, rose gardens, and new ballrooms, we're getting an Arc de Triomphe. Someone spotted a big, beautiful rendering of a triumphal arc sitting on the Resolute desk yesterday. It looks similar to the Arc in Paris, commissioned by Napoleon. Trump wants it done by America's 250th birthday, and he wants it right across from the Lincoln Memorial. So they better get started. And maybe we shouldn't deport all these illegals because that sounds like a lot of work. If no one else will give Trump awards, he'll just have to build them himself.
50 reasons why Donald Trump did not win the Nobel Peace Prize based on the criteria used by the Nobel Committee: public perception, historical action, and international standard for peace leadership. Number 1, lack of sustained diplomacy. That's North Korea talks collapsed. And number 2, he did not end any ongoing war. Number 3, failed peace initiatives. Talking about the Afghanistan, Syria. Number 4, no international treaty authored or led. Number 5, unilateral foreign policy weakened alliances. Number 6, withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal. Number 7, he increased tension with Iran. Talking about the buying of Qasem Soleimani. Number 8, promoted militarization at the US border. Number 9, supported controversial arms sales. Talking about the Saudi Arabians. Number 10 is that he undermined NATO and UN institutions. Now, when you talk about conflict and divisions, you get number 11 there, which is inflammatory rhetoric on the global stage. Number 12, alienated traditional allies or traditional allies, if you like. Number 13 is encouraging domestic political violence. And number 14 is downplayed white nationalism. Number 15, praise authoritarian leaders. For example, Vladimir Putin, Kim, etc. Number 16 is that spread conspiracy theories internationally. Number 17, attempted to delegitimize democratic attention. Number 18 is refusing peaceful transfer of power in 2020. Number 19, January 6 insurrection Connected to his rhetoric, number 20 is that he faced multiple differences undermining global trust. So when you look at the global impact, you get number 21, which is ignored climate change. Talking about Paris, etc. Number 22, which is US leadership in global humanitarian effort, block refugees and asylum seekers. That is number 23. Number 24, children separated at the border. 25, use economic sanctions aggressively. Number 26, use travel bans. Travel bans. Talking about using travel bans criticized as discriminatory. Number 27, challenge international law and norms. Number 28, reduce funding to WHO during COVID-19. Number 29, justification of isolationism. Now, number 30, supported COP and regime change policies. Number 31, where you get the Nobel specific standard. So number 31 is that he did not meet the Alfred Nobel Peace Vision. 32, Peace Prize favors reconciliation and not division. 33, peace effort must be consistent over time. 34, prize really awarded for short-time media events. Number 34, nomination is not an endorsement. Many people get nominated. No global peace coalition. That's 36. Number 37. Number 37 is that Trump's peace claims often exaggerated or unverified. 39, no transformative impact on peace globally. The next one is the winners like Obama, Mandela had good coalition. Now, when you talk about transformative impact on peace globally, when you talk about Mandela and Obama, they had broader coalitions. When you look at public and expert opinions, I'll take number 41 there. Scholars criticize his diplomacy style. 42, many international leaders disapproved of his methods. 43, human rights organizations oppose many of his policies. 44, accusations of racism and xenophobia. Accusation of racism and xenophobia. Number 45, discredited by allies in peace-building circles. 46, critics argued his peace efforts were PR focused. 47, public trust in his global leadership was wrong. 48, Nobel Committee avoids awarding polarizing figures. 49, his support base includes militarist group. Number 50, even some Republicans questioned the merits of a prize. So all of these are the 50 reasons why Mr. President Donald Trump did not win the Nobel Peace Prize based on the criteria used by the Nobel Committee. Public perception, historical actions, and international standard for peace leadership. What's your thoughts on this? Drop your comment in the comment section, and don't forget that this video is for educational purposes, not to lambast or blast anyone. But with that being said, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, share, drop your comments in the comment section, and turn on your notifications so that you get more updates and heads up from my videos. Peace and love until the next one. Bye for now. I remain Sandavas Nelson Jose.